And as Martin Tyler says, and it's live. Thanks for joining us, ladies and gentlemen. We are Fools from Iron. I'm Gatesy.
I'm Duke.
That way. Yeah, that's Duke. And we are here to talk about the small matter of the result from the Hawthorns last night. Match day 37 of 38, ladies and gentlemen. So we're one game from finishing the Premier League season. And last night, it finished West Bromwich Albion 1, West Ham United, managed by Big Sam, 3. I said we're managed by West Ham. No, I meant West Brom, man. You know what I meant. Listen,
I know what you meant.
I've been on this. Right, okay, I've been on this. I don't care. Listen,
me.
we are pretty much European football, Duke. We're pretty much there, and the only thing that can deny us. And I'll tell you what. I'll tell you what. Before we get into that, I'll bring the other lads in because they're sitting there waiting patiently. First things first, ladies and gentlemen. Here he is.
All going on a European tour. European tour. We're all going on a European tour.
Barring a very strange set of results, then yes, we are. We are, Milesy. Are you happy?
No, not really.
I think he's ecstatic.
Yeah,
I'm lost for words. I've had the best day. Tottenham fan didn't even turn up for work, and I cannot wait to see if he turns up tomorrow.
He didn't turn up.
No.
Oh my goodness!
He said he was waiting for a delivery. What, a delivery of no trophies again?
Brilliant. Okay, we've got a couple of other guests in the green room, chaps. I'm just going to bring them in one by one. We've got Steve 50. We've got Cahill McKernan. We've got West Ham Online for your entertainment, ladies and gentlemen. First things first, Steve, how are you, sir?
I'm very good, thanks, Gatesy. Pleased to be back. Hope you're all well.
Yeah, well, we're a lot happier now that the final whistle went on yesterday's game. I've got to be honest, I don't know about you, but there were certain points yesterday where I was a little bit concerned that we was going to balls it up monumentally, but the boys came good. Cahill, yourself, how are you doing?
Yeah, I'm happy after last night anyway. Can't complain about anything really, just getting through the days, looking forward to the match on Sunday, and then wondering what's going to be happening after that.
Yeah.
Casey, can I just touch on this quickly?
Yeah,
can I just jump in on this one? Alex, we ain't got to worry about Astragugu. From what I'm understanding, they're finishing 7th in their league. They're going to get nowhere near us in Europe next season. We don't have to worry about Gugu. They're not going to be in the same Europe.
We've got to play Agadudu instead.
I was watching Gio and Gonzo just before we went live, and Gonzo said, I think he said about Transylvania Rovers or something, and I was just like, oh mate, yeah.
Listen, let's not underestimate these people. We did that once. We did that once with Domzale and with Astragugu, and we come unstuck.
Hang on.
So,
are they in the Romanian Cup final?
Yeah, they're still in the final, but they can only get Conference League with it.
Yeah, they can only get Conference League with it, Gatesy.
So, yeah, but we could still end up there. But anyway, we'll cover that in a moment.
You've done it again.
I've just got to win. No. Hang on. West Ham Online. How are you, sir?
Above Tottenham.
That ain't bad, is it? We're definitely going to finish above Arsenal, if nothing else. That's pretty impressive, isn't it?
Yeah. Yeah, and above Everton, and I hate Everton, so I'm happy about that one.
Yeah, we know you're not keen on the blue side of Merseyside for whatever reason, but
I'm not keen on the red side either.
Well, yeah. Well, I'm actually going to have a little bit of a moan about them, but we'll cover that off shortly. So yesterday, just to recap, so in the lead up to the kickoff. Hang on, we just got someone else that's dropped into the green room. The man himself, Jazz. How are you, sir?
Yeah, really happy, mate. Yeah, really happy. Just
I thought you might be
still celebrating from yesterday. So we're in Europe, mate. Get those ferry tickets booked, mate. Let's get British
Incredible.
clubs banned the following year.
Well, you
Let's
say
get Liverpool
we're in
banned. Let's
Europe,
get Liverpool banned. Get
and
them back for Heysel.
Duke's gonna have a go at me here. The only way that we wouldn't finish in Europe, take your hands away from your ears. You know what I'm going to say. The only way it can happen is we lose, Everton win, and there's a 9-goal swing. Because if there was an 8-goal swing, we'd be level on goal difference, but we've scored more goals. So it needs to be a 9-goal swing from us to them. It's not going to happen, is it? Even we couldn't balls this up.
Gatesy,
we're playing through at the back.
Gatesy, Jazz, we're West Ham. Right. We're West Ham.
No, come on.
Listen, you know we always got 2 goalkeepers on the bench.
We're West Ham. Let's not. No. Let's not. Right, please. Let's not. Just for the simple fact is, I can see us beating Southampton 5-0.
Yeah.
Right. I can also see us losing to Southampton 5-0. And I know what Miles said before we came on, where it's Man City, Everton, right? But Man City, Everton, the same Man City side that lost to Brighton a few days ago. So, listen, I'm all for it. I'm all there with you, and it's a European football. But let's not jinx it.
They're not going to beat Man City 5-0, dude. They're not going to beat Man City 5-0, 4-0. Come on.
Yeah.
Best case scenario, they score a goal and then park the bus for them.
Yeah. It's not inconceivable City could lose, but not by the volume of goals that would need to happen. I mean, let's put it this way: if we lost 2-0 against Southampton, which is not an inconceivable result, but City would need to lose 7-0. That is not going to happen, Duke.
I can't believe we're debating how we would lose a 9-goal difference.
Not to Southampton. Yeah.
It's us. That's all I'm saying. It's us.
No. I know what you're saying. I know that, if there's a club that in the history of football could snatch defeat from the jaws of victory, it's West Ham United. But not even we could do this.
You got to remember, Southampton have lost 9-0 twice.
There you go.
Yeah.
Sorry, with all these squares, this is reminding me of like blockbusters. Do you know when you just got to get your answers right?
I was thinking more University Challenge.
That's it. Celebrity. Yeah, that's it. Celebrity Squares or
Celebrity Squares. That's the other one. Yeah. Just to give it a little, just to sort of wind back. So just to sort of give it a little bit of the backstory on yesterday. So obviously we lost Lucas Fabianski in the warm up, and straight away you're thinking, here we go. 2 minutes in, we miss a penalty. We then go 1-0 down. And you must have been thinking as me, guys. I'm like, lost your goalkeeper, missed a penalty. One 0 down to a top. Oh, hang on. What happened there? Am I back?
Just lost you for a bit. Just lost you for a bit. You're back now.
I don't know what happened there. So lost your goalkeeper, missed a penalty, 1-0 down. Opposition fans are going nuts. And I'm thinking, this is going to fall apart here, isn't it? Especially given the form that we've been in the previous sort of like 4 or 5 games or whatever. But what character to turn it around, boys? I mean, I'll start with yourself, Duke. That was a really gritty and gutsy performance from all of them, wasn't it?
Yeah, I mean, listen, at the end of the day, it didn't start out exactly fantastically, did it? Let's be honest. It was you look at the injury and like you say, we all thought it. Let's not mess around. Every single one of us kind of went, but listen. We all know this is the reason we need. We all know this is the reason we need a new goalkeeper now. So if we keep waiting, and I know he's signed another contract and everything else, but if we keep waiting, then our situation could be significantly worse next season. We got lucky. Let's not mess around. It could have been a completely different scenario. The game got off to a great start. and quickly turned into a WTF moment, didn't it? You know, I mean, I did say to you, Gatesy, last night, didn't I, that I felt it was a weak penalty. I'm still not convinced about
Weak?
penalty itself.
Really?
I said this. I don't know what you expect Johnston to do in that situation, but on the flip side to that, I don't know what you
I
expect.
thought you meant the strike from Declan.
Oh no, I thought the strike with Declan was very unlucky. I think it was a weak penalty to have been given. It wasn't. Don't get me wrong. It was a penalty, but I don't know what you expect Johnston to do. Antonio just kind of ran at him, even with the ball at his feet, rather than trying to take a shot or rather than trying to do anything else. He ran directly at him, which frustrated the living shit out of me because I just wish he'd scored the goal. Great. I'll tell you what. Deck's strike of the ball was clean. He didn't scuff it or anything else. It was a good clean strike, and it was just unlucky that it was 6 inches the wrong side. I just want to point this out. My screen that I'm currently looking at right now is this basically. This is pretty much what I'm just looking at on screen right now.
Yo, are you calling me a fucking Muppet, dog? Yo, Bridget. Yo.
You're the big hairy one.
If I'm a Muppet, you're a donut, dog. How do you mean you're a donut, dog? If I'm a Muppet, you're a blood fat donut, dog.
Is there a hippo in there? It's not a hippo in there, is there?
No, I'll tell you
what. Man. Yo, you know who I am? I'm the man, like, I'm the animal. I'm the animal dog.
I'm the
like,
cookie monster.
I'm the animal dog. Straight up.
I'll be the cookie. I'll be the cookie monster.
Yeah, and you know what Duke is? Duke is Fozzie Bear, but he is there. Yeah, see? So Duke is like 3 from the top. I'm like 3 from the middle. Trust me. Big up, Duke. I love you, my friend. Straight up,
Gatesy's Kermit.
Gatesy and Steve are top right. Gatesy and Steve are top right on my screen.
Yeah, Gatesy and Steve are those old blokes in the balcony, dog. Yo.
Listen.
If you ain't watched it, hold on. If you ain't watched it on Saturday Night Live, they did a skit with like those 2 old boys like on the balcony. You gotta watch that. It's dope. Big up everybody. Milesy, I love you. How you mean? Jazza, you're looking slender as always. Duke, what a beautiful man. Gatesy is like, come on, the legend. He's the Gates father, dog. How you mean, then?
And just to answer Foe's question, I'm okay now. For those of you that don't know what happened, and I put the audio of this on a group chat that I'm in with the Hammers chat Patreons, I made my wife at halftime a cup of tea, and I put it in a Hammers chat mug. And for those of you that don't know, my wife is an ardent Hotspur fan. So it didn't go down too well. That's
we
all I'll
want
say.
some Forged Irons merchandise soon, Gatesy.
Yes, please.
We need to get some.
Yeah, well, they got jerseys, dog.
We want this channel merchandise.
They got jerseys, jazz. Like real talk, they got like dope ass jerseys, man. Like I ain't playing sky blue, like dope ass jerseys,
Forged
jazz.
Iron Rum. Forged Iron Rum.
Don't know.
We'll find it.
Don't know, man.
Oh, hello. Before we just get back to the football, ladies and gentlemen, because Peach mentioned donuts earlier on, and this is completely apropos of nothing, but because he's brought up donuts. Has anybody seen these beauties? You ever seen these beauties?
No.
What are they?
Jaffa something.
It's a Jaffa Joe nut.
I haven't seen them.
It's
but I
basically
go
a
through
Jaffa
a pack
cake.
of Jaffa.
What did Del Boy say? That's a seedless orange.
That's it. Yeah, my wife got these today, and when Peach said donuts, I was like, yeah, I just thought I'd let you know. I love a Jaffa cake and I love a donut, so what could possibly go wrong? Anyway,
we're all going on a European tour. A European tour. A European tour. We're all going on a European tour. Yes, it's real. Like we're like Duke said something the other day about like if we get into the conference, we'll be the first like name on the trophy. I'm down for that. but we'll be going to like Albania and Bulgaria. But like, if we just get 1 point from Southampton, we're going on even a better European tour. We'll be on beaches drinking margaritas before the match start. Like, yo, I ain't playing. Like, yo. I'm so happy, man. Like, I live for West Ham, dog. How do you mean, man?
I wouldn't have picked up things at all, would you guys?
So, Martin,
Wait, come again?
Your thoughts. Oh,
Fozzie, I love it a lot. Fozzie, what's up?
Mousy.
What's up, Fozzie, man? Mousy, Fozzie. And then who's Jazza? Jazz should be like, yo, if you had like
Jazza Jeff.
No, thank you.
Not Jazzy Jeff.
No,
Jazza
no,
Jeff.
thank you. No, thank you. If I'm the animal and Gatesy's Kermit and Duke is Fozzie Bear, Jazza has to be like, yo, you know those big mother duckers that come out like raw. Jazz is one of them because he's massive. And like, yo, Mousy, who would you be? You'd be like,
A
who would
tree.
you be, dog? No, you'd be Gonzo, dog. Like, not Gonzo from a hammer shop, but like Gonzo from the Muppet side. Trust me. No. There you go.
Mousy, talk to me about the match. Yeah, I know. What do you do?
Someone please talk about the match. Someone please.
Let's
Come
talk
on.
about the match. Let's get back on track. We've spoken about donuts that are Jaffa cakes and all the rest of it. So let's get back to the match. Mousy, so your thoughts. And you must have been thinking the same as me at 1-0 down, weren't you?
Like I said, I think in the WhatsApp, I think a few words were said, and I honestly thought it was going to happen again. I literally didn't think we were going to get nothing from the game. I'm not going to lie. When me and Jazz's mate, Mr. Alan Smith, was commentating on us again, I was like, here we flipping go.
Yeah.
He cannot say anything positive about us, can he, that guy?
He
Literally.
hates
really
us, dog.
bad.
Not
really
really.
bad.
But
No.
But back to the football. Do you know what really surprised me the most is, don't get me wrong, Fornell's missed a lot of chances, and I think we mentioned it before we went live, Gatesy, is like he didn't do that, but he had a key contribution to the third goal, and people seem to be forgetting that, and they're forgetting. I don't get me wrong, you miss chances, but people need to give him credit for what he done to the third goal as well.
Yes,
that's the bit what I find a bit frustrating. And
yes,
I know I done a fan cam on West Ham Fan TV last night. Obviously, I was buzzing on that as well. I couldn't believe, but like even some people on the comments on that, I was like, yeah, Fornell's had assisted Antonio with a goal. He didn't give a right assist, but obviously he contributed most to that. And he had people in the comments, "Are you stupid? Lingard assisted Antonio," and it's like, fucking hell, West Ham fans, we flipping won. Why are people being so flipping picky and negative? But it's like, but no. But back to the football. In my opinion, I know Rice was very unlucky on the penalty, but I would have felt more comfortable in Lingard taking the penalty compared to, in my opinion, the one what he done. Don't get me wrong. What was the one what he missed? I can't remember what one he missed.
You got the rebound in, didn't he?
United.
You got a rebound in there, didn't he?
Yeah, but he got the rebound. But I think he learnt his lesson. When Rice's penalty, I thought he was very lucky on the last one he took, and I'm very surprised.
Yeah, my kids reckon Creswell should take them. What do you think, Miles?
I agree.
I agree.
Yeah,
I agree.
Yeah.
Well done, kids.
He's got a great technique on him. Great technique, and yeah, he's. I don't think he would just try and slide for it. Even in my opinion, it should be like Dixie, Ray
Has
Stewart.
he ever taken it before, Milesy, Cressy? Has he ever done it? I can't remember.
I think he's took a couple in the penalty shootouts before, isn't it? What was that one when we actually won a penalty shootout?
The Everton one. I'm sure he took one there.
Yeah, and the actual, what was the other penalty shootout we won recently as well, where they said we never flipping won? I can't remember what competition it was, but yeah, I can't remember.
Was it a Betway Cup?
Probably, wouldn't surprise me. But no, but back to the other, back to the game. I'm not going to lie, Darren Rand. That's what I said. I just love being proved wrong as a West Ham fan. They couldn't do nothing about. the only thing he could do was maybe be more commanded in the box. But the other stage, what Randolph done, I'll take my hat off to him, and I apologise for anything what I said to him. Especially that reaction save was very brilliant, and
because that was going in the back of the net, though.
Yeah, no, definitely. But I'm pleased for Antonio and Lingard as well, because don't get me wrong, they've deserved some criticism, but they contributed to a goal. And what I loved was the interview. I don't know what day it got released. I was watching it when I was eating my dinner. The way Lingard was spoken, like I've heard some rumours that it would be his last game on Sunday, potentially because of whatever. But the way he speaks and he goes "we" and the passion is shown, and that's what you want at West Ham. Like the other players that we've had on loan, all they care about is the paycheck, and they care about going to his parent club. But I think Jesse Lingard's very different. Very different.
Mozzie, what do you think? What do you think about Big Fat Sam like smirking when they scored a goal, and then after the match saying like, "Well, I'm leaving this club. Like, I'm only a short-term manager."
Well, he's got his paycheck, innit? It doesn't really matter.
That's it. Did
you hear his interview on Talk Sport this morning?
No, I didn't.
Bloody hell, was he on there again? Jesus
he was,
Christ.
yeah. He was on
the man who's got a villa in Spain on the back of the £7-8 million from Newcastle.
I don't feel sorry for him.
Flat in
Me neither, though.
One in £1 million bonus from West
Brom. Don't worry about that.
No, he came across really badly, Big Sam. I admit I had a soft spot for him, but it all went last night. I think he was
good.
Yeah, not tasteful behaviour from him. Very seemed very bitter, didn't he? Very bitter. Yeah.
He threw his toys out. He threw his toys out the pram, man. Like real talk. He threw his toys out the pram. I had to have a go at Antonio and thing. That was bullshit, man.
The only thing I can think of as well is I'm not trying to defend him. Is something else must have rubbed him up the wrong tree, as well. And I think
it's probably us,
reaction, but. Yeah.
You probably his wife probably didn't deliver last night, dog. Like his wife probably didn't deliver like the night before the match, dog. He was like, blue balling, dog, blue balling. How you mean?
Yeah. So, Jazz, I'll bring you in now. Your thoughts on how we turned it around? I mean, the character that we showed. I mean, it was absolutely marvelous, wasn't it?
It was, but I just want to start off by saying that I'm kind of like I let off a lot of steam last night in terms of lots gone on in everyone's lives, starting from the end of last season, and I'm glad the season is coming to an end in terms of everyone needs a good 2 months off, take a breather, get healthy, just spend more time with the family, because we are passionate West Ham fans. We're on the channels. We're tweeting every other day. It does take a lot of energy, Gatesy, especially for you and Duke. And I think it'd be great to just switch off for a bit. And come back with your tank. Yeah. And I'm so happy for the players. It's been hard for them. And they got something they deserved. And I was saying last night, sometimes you don't get something you deserve. And I even missed a penalty, Gatesy. I was getting my rum ready, mate. And I missed it, and my son's like, and I said,
"What was it? What brand of rum was you after? What was your tipple at that stage? Come on, give us the important details."
Yeah. Yes, Gatesy.
Was it Captain Morgan's? What are we going for?
What it was, I had run out of rum because I'm going through them quite a lot at the moment, and I had to nick some of the Jameson I had, some of the Jameson whiskey, so I went for the Irish flavour. But I was surprised. I looked on my phone and it kind of said in red, Rice has missed a penalty. And I kept thinking, is he really the one? Centre mid? Should he be the one? I was just thinking Lingard should be the one, really. But it's hard these days taking penalties. The goalkeepers are certainly more confident, do their homework. They move around a lot along the line. There's a lot more pressure.
But that's why Cresswell would be perfect, Jazz. Like that's why Cresswell would be perfect, right?
I'd hope so, but we got to kind of prove it, haven't we? So I mean, the 2 penalties Rice has had, if I'm right, he's been very close to the post, which is the way Harry Kane takes. It was very good to do that. But it's just kind of on the other side a little bit. He's certainly got the power and everything, but he's got a good coach. I mean, Noble is a good one to pass over the stewardship to him and give him training. But really happy but very upset at the same time because I hate Liverpool. I just can't stand Liverpool and Tottenham together. Really happy with Tottenham. Well done, Villa. Thank you very much. But Liverpool, I knew those Liverpool, those rats were going to get there. I knew it. I knew those rats were going to get there.
I know they won the FA Cup on Saturday, but I actually feel really sorry for Leicester if they finish out of the top 4.
Sorry, but a little bit like, come on, you can't make that. But I just did not anyone but Liverpool grabbing that for. I can't stand their fans. I can't stand the club. I can't stand how they always think, we got 2 injuries. We can't look at West Ham, the amount of injuries we've had over the past 5-6 years, and we've just got on with it really. And
no one cares.
It's sad what's happened. I mean, it could end up Chelsea could end up the top 4 the way the maths could add up at the end. We don't know what's going to happen, but I believe Sky are going to have most of the games live. Going back to the Kerbishley Tevez game, it's going to be switching all the time, isn't it, Gatesy? Half an hour is going to say Leicester are in there, Chelsea are down, West Ham are in that position. But it all goes down to Man United equally as Liverpool. If only you'd manned up a bit and played against Leicester and Liverpool. Perhaps with 1 point between Leicester, Liverpool, and West Ham, Gatesy fighting for the 4th spot.
Yeah.
And I just hope Crystal Palace and man up as well. People like Crystal Palace, Southampton, and some of these mid-table teams have totally put their tools down, which has been really not good to see and not really done anything. It happens
a lot, though, doesn't it, Jazz? When you've got a team that's in the middle of the table, they're not going to qualify for Europe. They're not going to go down, and they've got like 2-3 games of the season left. That's standard, isn't it?
Yeah, and I'm really happy for Europe, really excited. I've never seen European football, and I always go back to the elders talking about 76, European Cup Winners' Cup, 81. I'm really looking forward to see what it's like. Perhaps get lucky, get a ticket, go abroad. That'll be absolutely dream come true and a good memory. We might even end up with Lazio in the same tournament as us. You never know. Ooh. My second favourite team, I followed them a lot. So let's see what happens. But I'm really happy that we got Europe. Everyone deserved it. But I am going to get very aggressive on the Sullivan. I'm not going to leave him alone now. From tomorrow, I want that guy.
Good boy.
I want that guy to really, really do something that he's messed our top 4 position up in January. We had top 4 more or less. I think we would have done it if we brought 2-3 players in.
But was it him, Jazz, or was it David Moyes? Because apparently David Moyes is on record as saying
that was the owner.
Right. In the summer, he lost 2 of his players, Eze and Fofana. Then he gave him Benrahma. Then, obviously, Moyes going to... What Sullivan was saying, like, let's bring in 3 players, like 7-8 million each, like we always do. And Moyes is saying, no, I want players who are good enough to actually provide real competition for the 11 and actually get in the team. And you look at Sullivan's transfer record, 52 strikers, no one's ever got anything meaningful goals. So Moyes is making changes like, no, I'm going to match you, mate. And then he runs off to TalkSport, starts crying about David. Oh, I gave him 4 players. He didn't want any. What shall I do? No, I'm glad what he's doing. He's doing quality over quantity, double checking everyone.
Yeah.
And at the moment, there's a lot of funny stories coming out saying that because we didn't get top 4, Sullivan has told David Moyes, we can't afford Lingard. If we do, we got no more money. And then things like we can only buy from Slavia Prague because we've got a nice repayment plan with them and they've already been in touch with them. So he'll come along and perhaps 1 or 2 others. But I think it's going to be that Slavia Prague guy because they are happy to do business with us and they'll accept the really poor repayment plan Sullivan gives them. And then we'll get Lingard on board and then you're talking about 2 frees, I think. So those 4 will come in.
Do you reckon his missus is included in on the deal?
Absolutely.
I don't know what she's like or anything. I don't know. But
she's included in the deal, dog.
Yeah, but
do you know them cheap grotty strip clubs in Amsterdam? Like one of them sort of like down the side alley.
I don't know.
One of the side alleys. I don't know.
But
Yeah.
Gatesy is happiness, it's relief, and it's frustration.
Yeah.
Yes.
Liverpool and us. If we did something in January in business, we would have. I think we would have done it, mate. We're going to lose out by
100.
3 struck 4 points at the whole season. I'm so proud
Yeah.
of everyone. So yeah, those are my final feelings. I'm really proud of everyone, and a bit of everything, isn't it? Frustration, happiness, regret, and anger at Sullivan. Those 4 feelings, mate. Yeah.
Fair enough. I'll bring in Steve at this point. Steve, your reaction to last night's events at the Hawthorns.
Well, it was a typical terrifying West Ham experience. You know, best watched with a bucket over your head because it is so nerve-wracking. I mean, I on the pre-match chat, I was on the fence because I just know what West Ham are like. So the game kicks off.
Mm-hmm.
Penalty immediately, and we missed
Yep.
it. I'm thinking,
Yep.
I have seen this so often.
Yep.
And then we played. To be honest with you, we played badly last night, and we go 1 down to West Bromwich Albion. It's just written in. It just almost felt like it was written because not only were the team relegated, but they were managed by one of our most hated ex-managers.
Yes.
9 years to the day after we got promoted with him at Wembley.
Yeah, I know.
Yes.
So you're sitting there, and I'm just got this. I can just see history unravelling again in front of me.
Yeah.
And then, to my complete surprise, we equalised just before half time, and VAR goes our way.
Incredible.
I'm sort of a bit stunned because this sort of thing just doesn't happen. We're West Ham, it doesn't happen. And then against all odds, we go 2-1 up.
Yes, Steve. Yes.
Completely unexpectedly from my history and experience, we go 2-1 up, which leaves me obviously watching the rest of the match through my fingers, just expecting us to cock it up from that point of view. I'm just waiting for the disaster to happen, and then in a completely un-West Ham style, we got a third and make it safe for the last 5 minutes, and I can relax. I must admit, I think for me it was perhaps the most confusing West Ham game I've ever watched because we actually
Pete, what are you doing?
He's talking so much the truth. It's lovely. I love it.
You're gonna choke. Keep some water near you.
We actually did something completely unexpected last night and did what we needed to at a crucial moment. And I must admit, at the end of the game, I put it on the chat, I was in tears. I thought, at last, after all these years of watching us snatch defeat from the jaws of victory on so many occasions, the cup final with Gerrard being the prime example.
Don't, Steve. Please don't mention that game to me. Do not mention that game to me.
I have nightmares about that, dog. I have nightmares about that.
But you see, for us seasoned old cronies that have watched West Ham for many, many years, there's sort of an inevitability about that you just think, here we go again. And last night, it didn't happen. We played poorly, and we beat them. And I was gobsmacked. I was delighted. But I think if you could have gained levels of surprise across the West Ham fan base, I think I would have been at the top of it. But I'm thrilled we've done it. Absolutely thrilled. And the only thing I couldn't get my head around was why did Moyes take Ben Rama off?
Brom.
Yeah.
Brom.
That was odd. Yeah.
But Steve, haven't we won a lot of games this season playing like absolute sight? Like, it's weird, man. It's like we played like absolute garbage and we've won these games. It's like when Zola was manager and we were like knocking the ball around like Real Madrid and Tevez and like the other boy, whatever. he was with us, and like, yo, it's like we played like shit, like in matches, but we've won them. Like,
I
it,
think, I think we. Yeah, sorry. Go ahead, Scott. Go ahead.
Yeah, I know, and this is what has confused me all season.
yes,
We've been determined. We've dragged results out of nowhere, and this is so not the team I've supported all these years. We actually
so
look like,
West Ham.
yeah, we actually look. I think for the first time ever, like a team who you turn up against, and even if they play badly, you're going to.
It's Everton. It's Everton, Scott. We are Everton now. Do you remember? It's Everton, the team no one wants to play. They hate playing them, and we used to play good, lose, lots of big softies. That's what we've become, mate.
Suddenly, we don't. You know, back in the late 70s, early 80s, you know, I'd turn up with my dad. We'd sit in our seats. We'd get absolutely pasted, and everybody goes, "Oh yeah, but didn't we pass the ball nicely?" And seriously, you walk out of the stadium with that. But we've been absolutely pummeled for 90 minutes. Nowadays, we turn up, we get pummeled for 90 minutes, and somehow manage to win the game. And it is, I tell you what, it is terrific to watch. I have loved this season, not because of some of the free-flowing, beautiful football we played, and we have. The Burnley game was breathtaking in places. But the fact that we're a dogged, gritty, to be honest with you, unpleasant team to play against. And it's terrific, and I am absolutely thrilled. And my only disappointment today is I only had Arsenal fans at work to wind up. I'm yet to find a Tottenham fan I can really. Once that happens, my life will be complete. I feel that's how I feel about it. Anyway,
But I think we mustn't be too harsh on the team. I think if you look at the form of United now, you look at the state of Tottenham, the money Villa have spent. Liverpool have been shambles, to be fair, for most of the season. I think we deserved it. We were at the 3-4 game dodgy spell, but I think throughout the season it's been brave, it's been great football, and I'll stick my neck out and say it's been entertaining. We scored more goals than Chelsea, for example, and I think David has answered most of the questions this season, and it's been remarkable. And let's just keep positive. I don't want anyone talking too much. I think everyone, you've got to think about the break. The last season ending and this season starting was a small break for all the players. So psychologically, it's been difficult for them, but all our backroom team, you saw the celebration videos after the game. You saw Nolan picking up like Lingard and everyone, just like at school teams we used to mess about together on a minibus. It's that kind of, and you can't put a price on that kind of environment, how happy you are. Lingard, the only reason he won't sign for West Ham will be again because of Sullivan, not because he doesn't want to sign for West Ham. That's the only reason he will not sign. I'm so glad. I want David Moyes to get the cigar, take a step back, son, have a rest, and plunk the pressure and roll the dice into Sullivan's desk, and let's really see what that guy is about. And I kind of know what he's about, mate.
Jazz, I can honestly see Moyes. Literally, he'll probably go away to somewhere in whatever zone you can go on holiday for a week, and he'll be still doing 12 hours a day on the training ground all through the summer.
Absolutely bang on, mate. He's the first one at the training ground, last one out, workaholic. And just hope he doesn't pick up any phone calls from Celtic, my friend.
I think the deal's pretty much signed. He said. I think after Sunday, I think it will be done. Thank God.
Yeah, he's a man of honor, and hopefully it's done. But it's Sullivan. Sullivan. It's all about Sullivan for the next 8 weeks now, and let's just hope he surprises us, mate.
Yeah. Let's bring in the last two chaps to have their say on last night. We've got West Ham online. Over to you, my friend.
You're very patient. Sorry for that. I was waffling around.
Oh no, I don't mind. I've just been sitting here listening. Yeah, brilliant. The actual performance was not great, let's be honest. It wasn't a 3-1 game. But do I care? No, I don't care one bit. I think we we were all sitting there like Steve said, hardly watching the game. I remember when that second goal went in, I was like, thank God. Because it was just so hard to watch. When they scored the corner, I was like, here we go. We are bottle jobs. What's going on here? Souček, what you doing? Where's the... I was going mental. And eventually we pulled it around, and it was a game that we deserved, not because we deserve to win the game necessarily, because there's been games recently where we've been the dominant team and not got the result. So it was good to see it the other way this time round, and I'm just happy that Antonio was back on the score sheet, Souček was back on the score sheet, Ogbonna was back on the score sheet, and I was speaking to Peach, and he actually said, I can quote me on this, Peach. You said you watched the game holding an orange, and you scrunched it every time we scored. So I just thought that was brilliant.
Was there anything left of it at the end?
I don't know. You'd have to ask Peach.
Probably the juice was probably made into like a cider or something, maybe.
Yeah, you know what? I think you're probably right. I don't know if Peach can hear us.
No.
Peach, what happened to your orange?
Oh.
No, I don't. I think he's muted.
Oh,
carry on, West Ham
Peach.
Online.
Yeah.
Peach?
Anyway, yeah, it's brilliant, brilliant to watch. In the
Real
end,
character shown, wasn't there?
yeah, I'm just so excited for Sunday now, and I want to do a quick shout out if that's all right.
Go for
good
it.
friend of mine, really, really good friend of mine. Left back for Spurs, Reguilon. What a finish that was for Aston Villa's first goal. That for me has overtaken Lanzini's goal of the season, because that finish was just.
I'm not sure.
cultured.
It
was
yeah, but without
brilliant.
that goal for Lanzini, we don't get the point at.
Yeah, no, that was a great
Spurs,
hit.
who
Dan.
knows?
That was a great hit.
What, Reguilon?
Yeah, great hit.
Did you hear Richards at half time? He just went there and he went, what? Do you know how he's like, the way he goes? Like Jamie Redknapp's trying to be like all professional. I can sort of understand it. And then Richards goes, what a finish! And I was just cracking.
Did you hear him as well at full time, Andy? He just completely insulted Tottenham. He looked at the fixtures and he went, well, I'm looking at the top four race, and Tottenham were rubbish tonight. I think they'll get battered by Leicester.
Yeah. Yeah.
Wow.
So, yeah, that was funny to watch. And I think Peach is back now. Peach, you there? Peach, how's your oranges?
Come again?
You said you like oranges. How's your orange?
I like oranges.
Yeah.
I like clementines, dog. Like clementines rather than oranges, dog. Straight up.
What's your favourite fruit?
A peach, man. How do you mean, dog?
Has to be.
What are you
Has to
doing?
be. Come on, West Ham
and
Online. Think about it.
like a cherry. Like they come out in summertime. Like the wild cherries or whatever. I love, and a rhubarb crisp, dog. A rhubarb crisp. Duke, you know you can't go
Are you a
wrong with the
strawberry
rhubarb crisp, dog. Big up, Logan. You know you can't go wrong with the rhubarb crisp, dog. Boom.
Hang on, Pete. Hang on.
Peach, are you a fan of strawberries?
Now,
I love strawberries. I love cherries. Big up Logan. Big up Logan. He's the mini me of Hulk Hogan. How you mean? No, I love. Strawberries are all right. Like if you're gonna make a rhubarb crumble, don't put no strawberries in them, dog. Put some goose jars in them, dog. Like straight up. I ain't playing.
You a big custard fan?
Oh, 100.
We got on to people's choice of afters.
Yo, you have to have the custard, and you have to have like
apple crumble,
vanilla ice cream, like
apple crumble and custard.
Yeah,
custard, all day long.
How you doing,
Sticky
Mike?
toffee, chocolate brownie.
Oh,
Lovely.
I don't mind strawberries, but I personally am more of a banana fan. I don't know about you, Peach.
Yeah,
I like raspberries too, you know. Raspberry, like bananas, like differently. Differently, like, my girl, she's been making like banana bread of recent, dog. And it's like, the banana bread is fire. So it's like, I'm a fan of the banana bread, but like, the bananas gotta sit in the freezer.
Oh, apple crumble, yeah, lovely, Mike.
Yeah, me and all
and
Mike.
then like, you put them in
Have
the
you ever tried
banana
banana
bread
split?
mixing thing, dog.
Peach, do you like banana split? Peach, you a banana split fan?
Not really. Not really.
Nah. I'm gonna cut across the food chat, and I'm gonna try and get it back onto football. Cahill, over to you. West Brom 1, West Ham 3. Discuss.
I don't think I have much more to say that's been already been said.
I'll tell you what. Stuff that. What's your choice of afters?
Yes, go on,
Sorry,
Gatesy.
mate. Sorry.
Go on, Gatesy. Bad man.
Has to be a brownie or something like that. Go for something.
Cheesecake's a good one, isn't it? Cheesecake. That's
yeah.
Cheesecake.
But what kind of cheesecake, dog? Is it like? Like what kind of cheesecake, dog? Like chocolate cheesecake, like strawberry cheesecake.
Strawberry cheesecake.
I think cheesecake's overrated.
But I like a bit of ice cream with a cheesecake, though, a bit of vanilla blob next to it. I like it like that.
Yeah,
I just like ice cream.
I will get you in a minute, Cahill. I promise.
I love my custard, though. Yeah, I love it.
I love some custard, dog. Straight up, man. Like, how you mean, man? Like, what about a trifle? Like, anybody like a good trifle, dog? Like, a nice made up trifle, dog. Like, that's my
what about a gatto? What about a gatto?
Not really.
Gatto.
Not really.
Can I bring Cahill back in?
Sorry, sir. Come back in. Sorry, sir. Come back.
Possod's been sitting there for 47 odd minutes. He hasn't said barely a word.
Sorry.
Go for it, mate.
I'm here. Yeah, it was a tough one. It was a tough watch, but I'd take any form of a win at this stage of the season. And good teams win when they play shit. So we're showing that we're a good team. That's what good teams do. As Pete would say, big up for Darren Randolph. Great performance. I thought he was class. I think he's.
Do you reckon his new missus has made him play better?
You had to give the Irishman a shout, didn't you, Cahill?
There's not many of us, and he is a good one. It's not just for that reason. He is a good player. I think he is sort of good enough to play for a team like us. It's just we have sort of two lads. We have two lads there. It's tough to get in.
Yeah.
But I thought he had great reactions. He's what?
He reminds me of Marmite. You either love him or you hate him, in my opinion.
I don't know why he's hated.
I love him, dog.
Yeah.
I done a naughty tweet, didn't I, saying, so, Randolph, you're on, mate. Coming from me. Because he always looks like he's had a good night. He always looks like he's had a good night, isn't he? Always. But he done well, mate. He done really well. Yeah.
I think his new missus has calmed him down a bit, though. Don't think...
No, he loves the club, and no, it's all good, mate. All good, and yeah. Such good camaraderie between the team, isn't it? That's what I've noticed.
You see that.
You know, when you
whistle,
score, every single person is really, really happy for everyone. It's the only thing is just a little bit on my mind over the summer is going to be. What is a relationship between Moyes and Benrahma? That's going to be on my mind over the summer. Just a little bit.
That's one of the things I was going to come on to.
Oh, sorry.
That was one of the things I was going to come on to because I don't know about you guys, but I was on a couple of chats, and when Benrahma got the hook, I got to be honest, I was shocked. I
wasn't shocked.
I thought he was our best.
I wasn't shocked.
Player
I was
disappointed.
Disappointed.
Well, I can't say shocked because I said it. I said who's he going to take off? Because he's not going to take off Lingard, even though he was the worst of the attacking players all game. He wasn't going to take him off.
I don't. Who said it? I don't. It might have been Gonzo. I'm not too sure. But I heard someone float the theory that is there something in his loan deal that says that basically he has to play every minute,
I think
barring
so.
injury and suspension.
I think so.
Nah.
Because
The
he hasn't really
only
been.
person that should
Well,
have come on for Ben Rama is Logan, dog. Logan should have come on for Ben Rama, dog. Then I'd be happy. I wouldn't have no qualms. But Jared Bowen did 2 things, but Logan would have fired up the pitch, dog.
I just realised we haven't heard from the Duke, the great Duke.
Come on, Ben Rama.
Come on, Duke. Come on, Duke. Come on,
Yeah,
Duke.
good
Come
play
on.
better.
Whatever you say, son.
Oh,
Finish?
Come on, the master of ceremonies, Sir Duke. Come
Duke.
on.
Sorry,
Your
I
thoughts
was
on the Ben Rama
Logan had the headset for a bit. Sorry, what was that?
That's right.
thoughts on Kevin
The Ben
Nolan's
Rama substitution. What were your thoughts when it took place?
Listen, he was never taking Lingard off, no matter how bad he plays. I think you just said it there. Gonzo touched on it. I think someone touched on it on Twitter as well yesterday, or yesterday evening, that there's something in his contract that allows him to or insist that he plays 90 minutes unless if he starts. So he was never coming off. I think the frustrating thing is Ben Rama's finding his stride, and for whatever reason we're insistent on taking him out of that stride. I thought again he was superb yesterday. I'm not going to blow smoke up his ass and say he was the best player here, best player there. But yeah, I agree with Mike. Very disappointed when he came off. He nearly punched me. Cheers, mate. But Bowen did well when he came on. I thought Bowen added another dimension to our game for that. Those last bits, that last section of the game that he came on. So, although we were disappointed, yeah, you're right. Mike says it there. Bowen did well when he came on. Gave us something else out there as well. I just think I don't know what it is with Ben Rama. It just seems like we're trying to trip him up all the time.
I don't think David Moyes will accept a contract like that. He kind of
No, I
passed.
don't think
Remember that
true.
Chelsea defender that wanted to come, and he's like, "Well, I want to play every game." David's like, "Get the hell out of it, man! I don't want you." And he never got covered anyway.
That was slightly different, Jazz, because the way that was constructed, it wasn't that he had to play every game, but if he didn't play a game, Chelsea were going to get a payment of 50 grand every match he didn't play.
No, but he wanted guarantee of a first team. He goes, "I don't get given to Chelsea, but with you." And David's like, "Don't work like that, mate." And just and I know that, again,
but
the
then
fans
would it work differently with a player that he's got history with? Because obviously,
I don't believe you can have such a clause
United.
like that you can't take him
The
on.
clause
I never
isn't
heard
true.
of such a thing. I don't know.
The clause
doesn't make sense
isn't
to
true.
me. It doesn't make sense
isn't
to
true.
me. Yeah.
I think what it is.
I've got a question. If Ben Rama comes into his stride like he's going to, and Lingard's performances are what they are, do we need Lingard?
Yeah.
Just a thought.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, we do.
We do.
Beggars
We
can't
need
be choosers.
someone.
We need
If
as many quality players.
not Lingard,
I've
it
seen
needs
a
to be
lot of
someone.
this actually. The last few days, I've been seeing a lot of people saying, I've seen quite a lot of Lingard disrespect. I wouldn't say disrespect.
It's small memories, short memories with people. Listen,
we wouldn't have any hope of European football without some of the performances he's put in.
And
another thing is, don't
forget.
Sorry, go ahead. Sorry.
I was just going to say, Jazz, the funny thing is, in the last 3 games, he's still created the most chances on the pitch out of any player. So make of that what you will. I don't think he's been brilliant, but I certainly don't think he's been as bad as some people are making out. I think he's fitted us. It's so many good players in the world, Sanchez and other players, but
Carlos.
He looks like
he doesn't suit possession football, though. That's the thing. We've been playing against teams where we've been getting more possession and playing a bit more football. He doesn't suit that as much as when we're counter-attacking, sort of very energetic and strong bursts up the pitch, get up, be precise with it, and sort of a lot more defending. He looks a lot better in them when he has his moments of flashing, but when he has a lot of possession and has a lot of time to think about what he's doing, there's not a lot of space for him to do anything. He looks a lot worse.
I think like me and Jazz said it, I think we said it a couple of weeks ago. there's technically probably Ben Rama and Bowen are probably the only people in the team who's on the same wavelength as Lingard, attacking wise, going forward with the ball. So when he hasn't got
Tony's not.
he has
Tony's not on the same wavelength. Yeah,
well, if Lingard's got a striker, a proven goal scorer with him, we'll see a totally different Lingard as well. Because not only is he getting doubled up on, Ben Rama's going to be tried to be doubled up on, and the proven goal scorer. So that's 6 players you're taking out the game. So I can only once the new striker comes in, Lingard has to be there. Has to be
just
there.
behind.
100%.
Yeah, and then Antonio drops back, doesn't he, Marzi?
Yeah.
Antonio drops back into those 3, and then we'll have 5 that fit into 3, and that'll be competition for Benrahma, Lingard, Antonio, Bowen, Fornals. Look how good that'll look. 5. So all 5. That'll be brilliant. And then get 1 in for Rice and Souček competition, and then we still need a couple more like centre backs, the goalkeeper, but. I just want to ask 2 questions, Gatesy can obviously as host can lead. Is really frustrated why we never get, especially Antonio in the box, pissing about on the wing, on the halfway line, taking 10 minutes to get in the box, and when Benrahma looks up, there's no one there. And hopefully that gets addressed and kind of next season. So I just wanted to kind of discuss that really. I mean, is everyone frustrated like me when there's not enough people in the box?
Go for it, Malsey.
Yeah, no, I agree, Jazz. Do you remember that chance when Ben Rama done really well on the right wing, played the ball across on the money, on the edge of the 6-yard box? Antonio's like waving there with 2 defenders on the back post. Like, strikers, I don't care even if you're a striker or a winger, to attack the ball. Like, he's been doing that for years. That really rubbed me up the wrong way as well. And I don't know. Do you reckon he's been rushed back too quickly?
I just think we shouldn't overlook how many chances we create. I mean, he gets a goal, but like you said, he scored last night, but I reckon he missed about 2 sitters, which we always forget about. And then it's like, oh yeah, at least he was there.
Burnley was the same, wasn't it?
Yeah. He does some careless things.
I didn't think Antonio was bad last night.
I'm just gonna just for a laugh, guys. I'm just gonna share this with you. Just because I can. Just because I can. No other reason.
Love it.
What would have been better, Gatesy? What would have been better if that was with Gary Neville and Kane? Have you seen their interview? The preview of their interview? If they actually wrote the text on that one.
I have to see that. Yeah, you have to see that. Yeah, World War III, isn't it, between him and Levy?
I've just seen that, and I thought I've got to put that on. Sorry if there happens to be any Tottenham fans and I've offended you. I do apologise, but it doesn't happen often, does it? It might have been slightly tongue-in-cheek, Steve. You never know. But sorry, carry on, Andy.
Yeah, no, I was just saying what Jazz was saying with regards to Antonio, and I just think he would be a great asset on the wing, playing in behind that striker because he works hard as well, and he doesn't have to do them bursts every 5 or 10 minutes when he has to run down the ball, saving on his hamstrings. And the one thing what may be controversial. I can never say that word properly.
Controversial?
That's the one. Is I wouldn't play him in Europa League next year because you don't know what them pitches are like, and all you need is him making one little run, boom, hamstring gone. 3 months out normally he's out for. So that's the only thing I will say. And you never know. He could be our great person to come off the bench even if we get someone else.
Yeah,
imagine 20 minutes to go with and that's just a small burst of him, isn't it? As well.
I agree with that comment from Mike. That comment there from Mike where he says when he's sort of like got time to think about it, he seems to be a little bit more. Oh, what do I do with it? Whereas when he's got to react,
I think even when
he tends to be much better.
Comes up his head, back of the head, elbow, knee. You're right, Gatesy.
Yeah, I think all his finishing, let's be honest, isn't great, but I think he does the job. A question I have for everyone quickly, aside from Antonio, is if we get sixth and we've got the Europa League group stages to play as well, would you give Felipe Anderson a chance for squad numbers?
Yes.
100.
Yeah,
We should have brought him back in
Uh,
January.
We've only
should have brought him
got
back
him
in
for another
January.
year anyway. So if there's a time we need him, it's now, surely, when we're in a European contest, and especially if we've got to do a qualifying round, as you say.
No, we don't do. We were
No, I mean, I said group stage.
Group stage.
If we get group stage, yeah, that you'd suspect that there will be a few
Even so,
teams where we can rotate.
100%. 100%.
Yeah, I think so, actually.
Yeah. I'm going to have a little bit of a moan. Last night I was watching, I don't know whether you guys watch it on Sky or Virgin or whatever, but it was on the Sky Channel 402, and it quite clearly said on the description, West Brom versus West Ham. The moment that game finished, it was pretty much exclusively all about the game that happened at Turf Moor. I'm sitting there and I'm like, I'm sure this is West Brom versus West Ham. And I looked on the description again. They hadn't changed the description. It's still down as West Brom, West Ham. And they couldn't get enough publicity about Liverpool jumping into a Champions League position. I've got to be honest, guys. I don't know about you, and it might seem quite petty, but I was quite pissed off with that. And I'm past 9 o'clock, so I can say pissed off.
Liverpool have had a comeback this season for being the first club in history to have an injury, Gatesy. They've come back and they're getting top 4.
Yeah.
No other clubs have ever had injuries before.
Correct me if I'm wrong, guys. A couple of weeks back, weren't Liverpool one of a group of 6 Premier League teams that were quite prepared to piss off from the Premier League and Sky? And now
and they got rewarded.
It's like, let's cover the fact they've got into 4th, and it's like, no, that game's being shown on Channel 401. This is Channel 402. I'm a West Ham fan. There are West Ham fans and West Brom fans watching this, and they want to hear interviews with the players. They want to hear interviews of the managers. They want to see statistics. They want to have interviews, whatever. I don't want to know about the Burnley-Liverpool game. I'm not interested.
The platform we need to be on is Amazon Prime. Whenever we've been on Amazon Prime, I've loved it. And do you know the one commentator, the co-commentator I love, is Ali McCoist. He talks fucking sense, and he's not.
My only problem with Amazon Prime is
we're always 10 minutes behind, aren't we?
Yeah, it's Wi-Fi based, and my Wi-Fi certainly can't keep up with that. I think at least 60
No one
times.
can. It's always a bit slow. Yeah, always a bit slow, mate.
I remember when Haller scored the overhead kick. He was just about to cross it, so foul. And suddenly the string just froze. I was sat there for about 5 minutes, looked on Twitter, 1-1.
Yeah.
I know what you mean. I did the same thing as with you and Fo. I was fuming, and obviously I had it on in the pub. So I was working last night. So I say working, I sat down with a beer because it was quiet. But I was downstairs, like in pub, and it frustrated the living shit out of me. Like, why? What's the big thing now? You know, at the end of the day, these 6 clubs, like you said, Daisy, they try to piss off, and it's now the loving's back because they're not leaving.
Yeah.
And you know, Alex just said it there. I think Sky only care about the big boys and not the irrelevant clubs like us. And you know what? It feels like it's so true. I mean, you and me and Milesy Gatesy, we had a conversation, didn't we, on Sunday about where the Premier League missed a trick with regards to like a subscription service. You remember the conversation you and me, Andy, had about the fact that, you know, I like my baseball and I subscribe to the MLB channel, $126 a year, and I get every game live and every game archived. You could do the same thing. I believe anyway. I believe that the Premier League could do the same thing with a subscription-based service. Cut out what you class as the middleman, i.e. Sky, and every club in the Premier League gets an equal cut of the proceeds. You know, you set up a subscription like app or whatever, like you do with a baseball, and you run that. I'm sick and tired of these big clubs getting, and they do. I don't care what anyone says. These big clubs that get, Man United shown 46 times on Sky over the course of a season, and they only play 26 games. They've shown so many games on Sky per season, and they get an extra cut because of the amount of games that they play. So again, it's a financial leg up for the big boys, isn't it? If you work out how many times, let's not say this season or last, let's go the season before. So let's talk about 18-19 and work out how many games the Big Six had live on telly compared to the rest of the teams in the Premier League. The Big Six get the majority of the games on the telly. Am I right?
Yeah.
Oh, not even close.
But Gatesy, when we grew up,
it
used to be far worse. Yeah. Duke used to be far worse when we were kids in the 80s. We used to get one game, didn't we, Gatesy, when we were kids? West Ham Man United was the only game live.
Yeah.
And then every week it was Liverpool, Everton, Man U, Everton, Liverpool, Man U. That was the only games. Apart from that, everyone got one or two at the most. So Sky improved it because we got 4 or 5. But now, I've been looking into Premier Sports because I follow Lazio a lot. I love Spanish football, Italian, German football, good on kind of BT Sports. I've got BT, but BT cost me an arm and a leg compared to Sky. It's shocking how BT are charging nearly half of what I pay for Sky pack. It's just really stupid. We got to look at different things, but it's a shame that the Premier League, UEFA, didn't have the balls to kick these 6 out there and then Liverpool can stick that 4th place up their backside, and then we would have all kind of been happy about it. And
Simon Jordan said it like 2 years ago on TalkSport how it should. Let's just say, for example, you charge, even for your club, for example, say for example you pay £180 a year, for example, £190 a year. Yeah. So what's that? £5 a game, and then you get access even just to your teams, so you can log in anywhere in the world. Or on the box, and you get access £5 a game to your team of your choice. What's the harm in that as well?
Yeah. Well, I tell you what, because of channels like this. Yeah. Sorry, go ahead, Gatesy. Go ahead. Duke, go ahead. Sorry.
No, I was just saying that Foes nailed it there. It's so easily done in this day and age to create a streaming service that, I don't mean for the likes of us to create a streaming service.
I know what you mean,
but for them to come up to pay out an initial outlay, for someone to come up with an app that makes it work with the connections. Yes, all right, we're going to be a few minutes behind the live games because at the end of the day, that's the way the streaming works. But it would be so easy. Like I said there, it's already in place for, MLB, NFL, the Hockey League, NHL, NBA. It's already in place in America. It would be the easiest thing for them to put in place. In fact, the EFL did something similar, did they not? For some of the games that took place during this lockdown, and they were charging fans a tenner for a month. I think it was a month subscription. They got 4 games out of it. No, the EFL, the Football League. The Football League, I think. Really? I know that one of the lads in the pub comes in the pub. Is that what it is? Because he was watching the Charlton games. He was watching the Charlton games, and the EFL had done it. So, I don't see why. It'd be a piece of piss, and it would, it would financially be viable. You could do it, in fact, with every club, because I'm telling you now, teams like Barnet would benefit from it if you did it in the lower leagues as well, because they'd get the proceeds from that as well.
But wouldn't that then be a detriment of the live gate, Duke?
No, because I tell you what, Gatesy, not every fan can get to a live game. Not every fan can be a season ticket holder. I, for one, I can't be a season ticket holder. Well, I could probably be a season ticket holder, but I run a pub. So it's very difficult for me every every Saturday for a home game or even certain away games to get out of my pub and go do when Saturdays are the busiest or weekends are the busiest point in a publican's life. So it's very difficult for people like me to do that. But you know what? If I had a streaming service where I could stick it on my laptop while I'm behind my bar with a live game without the risk of being caught because I'm streaming it illegally through He's Go or whatever else, then you know what? I'm quite happy to pay that money. Barnet fans, the same thing. If they're at work in a warehouse and they stick it on their phone in their pocket with headset, Luke says they need a lot of cameramen.
I mean, Duke, would you mind?
There's plenty of that, isn't there?
Lots of people unemployed at the minute.
I mean, Duke, would you mind sharing? Would you mind sharing? I mean, it might not be possible. How much a typical pub paid for Sky? Because I heard it's extortionate part of the overheads.
Isn't it on the square footage of the pub?
I don't know. It'd be interesting if Duke can share it. I don't know.
I'll be honest with you. I can give you a rough estimate of what some pubs pay per year, Jazz. And without all of your box office shit, so some of these pubs, so for instance, for the Anthony Joshua Klitschko fight, Jazz, you paid 20 quid to watch it at home. Is that right? 1999?
About that.
Yeah, you're not far off.
Pubs pay 400 quid. Pubs pay 400 quid for the same thing you pay at home for 20 quid.
Wow.
Yes, granted, you're going to get the extra income if you've got a packed pub.
Not one in the morning.
We had the Klitschko Joshua fight, and we were heaving, we were packed. But the average, I think, if I remember rightly, and I think I said this to Gatesy and Andy on Sunday, the average cost for Sky on your pub is roughly 24 grand a year, and that's $2,000 a month.
Wow, it's like estate agents paying for right even them lot. Yeah,
that's just your sports channels, Jazz. You're not paying. For that. You don't get the movie channels or your generic normal your full package. You just get your sports package, and then you have to get. I think in all of that you also get BT as well.
BT,
all your sports channels. Yeah. But that's still $2,000 a month, Jazz. And personally, I think that's fucking ridiculous.
I'd love to know if someone's got a motorized dish and they're picking up BEI and sports with,
I wouldn't be surprised, Jazz, if you find. Because I'll be honest. When I
Astra dish, isn't it? Whatever you used to call it. Yeah.
When I first came here, I was interested in that for me. 6.5 years ago. Was to get one of those dishes on the roof here, so I could get the baseball, the hockey, because I'm a big American sports fan, and I wanted that here. And it's I got told no, because if that got then linked back to the pub, and people thought that it was a pub thing, they or they could take away my license.
Yeah. Bloody
hell. So independent pubs, if they can find a way of doing it with a way of hiding a dish, then so be it. Obviously, because I'm a managed house and we have a bigger company that sits behind us.
I used to read about back in 1991 when Sky first came and they had Simpsons, and you could buy these motorized dishes and they would say you'll get. So the 1990 World Cup was the first one that ever was on Eurosport, if you remember, and I loved it because unlike the BBC ITV, Eurosport kept on repeating every game. It was on all the time. And you remember the Tutti Frutti show for us naughty kids? All those ones. So it was like 16 buttons, wasn't it? If you remember that slimline thing that sat on your TV, you press it. Like, my dad was really into it. Those kind of things. But yeah, really interesting. Yeah, really interesting. Yeah.
It's a lot of money. It's a lot of money to spend out to make it work. Sorry, Gatesy, go on.
Yeah. I'll bring Cahill and Steve in to give their points, because obviously I'm mindful of the fact that they're sitting there probably want to get their teeth in this one. So Cahill, your thoughts on this subject?
Just for sign up for subscription services and all.
Well, yeah, and sort of like, because obviously the start of this conversation was the fact that at the moment the final whistle went, they couldn't wait to get their teeth into what was happening at a team that a couple of weeks ago were quite happy to wave Sky goodbye.
We all know it's a load of bullshit. It's all money based and sort of revenue based. Whoever they can get the most subscribers from. There's a lot of Asian fans of Liverpool, and like there's a huge fan base there coming from all around the world. You won't get that from West Brom and West Ham. So they'll just
but I sat down to watch
line
on
their pockets.
what was on the description. It said West Brom, West Ham. I want to watch stuff to do with West Brom, West Ham. If I wanted to watch what was going on at Burnley Turf Moor against Liverpool, then I'd have switched over and watched that program, wouldn't I?
Yeah, they couldn't give a shit. You've already paid your bloody mortgage on buying Sky Sports. They're not going to care about the complaint you make. They're not going to care. You've already paid it. They don't lose the money because they're not putting on what you want to see. If you're paying them, they'll put what they want out, and they're going to put more out that will get them even more money, and that's going to be teams like Liverpool. So they're gonna. It's the way it's going to be. That's why as the lads were saying about subscription services and all, it would be great. Something like even the UFC have it. All that, like all the sort of American companies have an app that you can get. You pay your certain amount of money and you can watch everything. I don't see why they won't do it. I think maybe over here we're at times. I know we don't want to get too Americanized with things, but at times we're too old style as well. We need to sort of get up to the modern side of it and get along with all them sort of things. But,
Kaiser, I just want to interject for like 2 seconds, Doc, and then continue on. As Duke told me to do. But it's like, there's this one streaming service. It's called, I won't say the name. Well, I will say the name, but I'll spell it out. KODI. And you go on there, you download the thing, you find the build. Brethren, you get everything, movies, TV, like shows, football, everything.
I've never heard of it.
Trust me. So, and
I've never heard of it, Peach.
Brethren, WhatsApp me, and I'll give you because they got build, right? So it's like, you got build. And it's like, I give you the dopest build, to run with that, and you get everything to
Yeah, I certainly don't have anything like that already on my TV, Peach.
Me neither. I don't condone illegal streaming, and neither do anybody enforced from Iron, blah, blah, blah.
It's all good, dog. It's all good. Straight up, you can put it on your
distance
thing
ourselves
and
as a group.
Dog. Straight up. See, I didn't say it, though. I spelt it, so I could be talking about Sharks or Dolphins. I just said KODI. That's it. What is that? That might be anagrams or something. You get me?
It could be.
Trust me.
And like I say, I've got no idea what you're talking about anyway.
I'll check you up, dog.
Yeah, as I say, I've got no idea, ladies and gentlemen, what he's on about. I've never heard of this.
I know. I'm talking about Dolphins and Wales.
Yes.
Like the KODI.
We're into conservation.
Killer Dolphins and Whales. Straight up.
Yeah.
Peach is the new David Attenborough.
For the environment. Yeah, in the ocean.
Cover myself, dog. I cover myself like a warm blanket, dog. How do you mean?
Definitely.
But the last thing, before Steve, sorry about this. Like what you said, Gatesy, it's like if that was the West Ham West Brom after the game, like what they had on Brighton, you have a Ginge or Bobby Zamora or someone from each side gives a better analysis than Jamie Redknapp, who, like what Luke said. Yeah.
My head in when you've got a game between two teams and
they're always walking on eggshells.
To do with either clubs.
They're always afraid to say something controversial on the big shows.
Crack eggs, dog. Yo.
Okay. Okay. Anyway, no, what I was saying
is that the sound KODI makes there, Peach? Is that the sound it makes?
It's a whale dolphin thing where they jellyfish thing stuff. It's deep water sea fishing. Read between the lines. Trust me, I got you.
Yeah.
No, we genuinely
Steve.
read that last night. He was
Yeah.
just talking about Spurs out of his backside, and I love Micah Richards. I think he's a fresh air.
Yeah.
He talks really good sense, and
He's dope.
and he put him in his
He's
place.
dope.
And Jamie's like, yeah, Tottenham are a great club to sign for. And Micah's like, from what angle are you talking about? They literally got to this stage without spending any money. Half their team is like 3-4 million from the youth team. And when they needed to put more money in after the Champions League final, they never did it. And now Levy's back to his old tight git sort of status, really. So I like Micah anyway. Yeah, I like him. He's really good.
Micah Richards is like, he's like, he talks the truth. Like, he's not like a Neville. Like, you know what I mean? Like,
he even makes Keane smile. That's something, isn't it? Keane likes him.
Steve, talk to me.
Come on, Steve. Sorry, mate.
It's all right, guys. Well, let's look at it this way. You've got a group of fans watching the telly, and West Brom and West Ham are playing.
Mm-hmm.
I reckon a blind, rabid baboon with its head in a hole could have spotted that those people would have wanted West Ham, West Brom analysis. However, Sky didn't. And, I was on some of those chats, and I was equally fuming. I want to hear from David Moyes. I want to hear from all those guys, I want to hear from the people who had something to do with the game I was watching. I don't want to watch Liverpool players being interviewed about clearing the ball off the line and scoring a goal. So what?
Yep.
What do I care? I don't. I really don't. It's magnificently unimportant to me.
If you cared about it, you'd have been watching Sky Channel 401, not Sky Channel 402. That's the point.
Yes. Yeah, exactly. But what does worry me is the TV deal. It was going to go up to be bid for this year. And because of the pandemic...
Goal in my Dutch game.
Carry on with the way things are, which I think is a shame, because I think it would have shaken it up, because Amazon wanted to come into play. Quite a few groups wanted to come into play. And that's really annoying, as far as I'm concerned.
What I heard, BT Sport wanted, not BT, Amazon Prime wanted a bigger chunk of the pie of this Premier League season. After what they had, the Christmas games last year, they wanted a bigger piece of the pie. So I wouldn't have been surprised if they came in and got a significant bigger chunk this season or next season.
Yeah.
Marjorie, do you know who used to celebrate like that? It was Dean Saunders that we both love.
I know.
Dean Saunders. He did that Upton Park at Derby.
Yeah, I know.
1-1. Yeah, we ran towards the crowd. Sorry, me and Marzi being like kids again. Sorry.
We've gone off on a tangent.
Sorry.
But, and that's we will keep getting the nonsense we got last night while Sky got a stranglehold, which they have. And until that's broken, we're just going to have to put up with it, guys, I'm afraid.
Gatesy, one question's come to my mind.
Go for it.
I want Arnie back. I've said it. I want
That's not a question. That's a
back.
statement, Jazz.
I want Arnie back. I love him.
I'll be back.
He's going to be
I'll
straight
be back.
in the team. He'll be the B word that we love. I want to know everyone's opinion. Arnie,
Do you know something? I'll tell you what.
I want him.
I'll tell you what. I'm gonna counter you with this, because I think I might have mentioned it on a previous stream that we did. I did a 60-second stream for the guy that owns West Ham Polls, Ian. And he's got a new YouTube channel out called West Ham Shorts. And again, if you haven't seen it, guys, have a look, check it out, give him your support. I did a 60-second video about Arnautovic coming back, and I said that and this was after I heard the interview between Peter Crouch and Mark Noble, where Nobes made it known that he was still friendly with Arnie and that the players were still friendly with Arnie. So, and it's like that changes things for me, because if I thought he was going to come back and be a disruptive influence, then that's a problem. But if he's quite friendly with the players still, then, well, that's now no longer a consideration. We know that David Moyes likes him. He didn't sort of do David Moyes wrong because it was Pellegrini that he walked out on. The only thing is that he needs to make good his relationship with the hierarchy at the club, and he needs to make good his relationship with the fans. Now, if he can do that, and if he's not going to come back for an extortionate fee, I think that this is probably something that makes sense. And in fact, I'll go a step further. I think that the interview that Mark Noble did was done. I mean, everything's all controlled by the clubs anyway, that comes out from players whilst they're under contract. So I don't have any doubt that what was said by Mark Noble was with the blessing of the football club. And
that's
I've got
a very good point,
this deal
Gatesy.
is already in place.
I think the deal is done. That's a great point, Gatesy.
Yeah, I think it's done.
I follow the Chinese league like a sad git as well, but the problem is they've got no money, and the government has basically had this 5-year plan where they wanted to turn it into Japan, like we would be the best team in Asia alongside South Korea and Saudi Arabia. I think it hasn't happened, and they want to draw back their funds. They're not interested anymore. They want the league to kind of operate on its own merit, and there's already been caps on salary, as you know. I think Arnie's been on £200,000 a week for 1 or 2 years, and he's himself said that apologize. He hasn't quite gone that strong over it, but he said, I want to come back only to West Ham. And Moyes got the best out of him last time. There's not many people that can play that leading role like him. What a great finisher he is. A big character in the dressing room. Tough guy. Noble, like you said, Gatesy said in training, you can't even get the ball off the guy. And you need that. You need that. And I'm passionate about a club, and he was a passionate player. He's a bit of a naughty boy, but deep inside, especially West Ham fans, we got a history of liking naughty boys. So I want him back, mate. I want him back.
Ladies and gentlemen, we've been joined. You might have noticed him down in the bottom right-hand corner. Fans United. How are you, sir?
I'm good. I didn't even know. I thought I was on standby. I'm just looking at the screen, and yeah.
How are you? You doing all good?
I'm good, man. You know what? I think I joined at the right time because that Arnautovic, I've got a different view on.
Go on, my son. Go on, my son.
Peach, let him talk.
I was just Googling, I want to find out his age, but basically, he's been gone 2 years.
It's 32, mate. Yeah. 32, I think. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
He's been gone 2 years. He's been playing in China, which is a shocking standard of football.
Yeah.
The way he left, I just think from that principle alone, he's not welcome back. And why get Arnautovic for maybe 120 grand a week when you can get 2 good strikers for 60 grand a week? So
I've heard the figure of 60 grand. That's the figure I've heard.
Yeah,
I've heard.
It's not well,
I've heard 66. I've heard 66 grand a week.
Okay.
Yeah,
but with huge goal bonus.
Yeah, Milesy, that'd be the way. That'd be the way, wouldn't it?
Right.
Yeah.
So I don't know who's in it, but is everybody in favour of Arnautovic?
No, not at all.
As far as to say in favour, I've got to be honest. I wouldn't go as far as to say in favour. And in fact, I'm on record as before this all came out. My thoughts on it were I'd rather shit into my hands and then clap. But if David Moyes wants him, if the players are happy to receive him, and if it can be done on a sensible financial footing, and he can make his peace with who he needs to make his peace with, i.e. the fans and the board, then if all that comes to pass, I'm not opposed to it.
He is not welcome back at our blood clot club, dog. Him and his brother are bad news, man.
Well, that's the thing. Like I say, he has to make his peace with who he needs to make his peace with. If he can't do that,
his brother is the devil. His brother is Satan, dog. His brother is Satan, man. I ain't playing.
Is he Arnautovic from the? Is he the Arnautovic that left?
Well, that's always the thing, isn't it? I mean, I've got to be honest with you. I very few, and I've said this before. Very few times does a player leave a club or indeed a manager and come back to that club for a second time and do as well or better than they did before. There are exceptions to the rule, but they're very few and far between.
Gatesy, the
my
problem
concern.
is we haven't, the owners are not giving us the budget. And you're right, I wouldn't go mad over it.
But that's the thing, he'll probably be cheap, won't he?
Yeah, and
he'll probably come on a free. If he's coming for 66 grand a week plus incentives, then he's coming on the cheap.
So do you think it'll be a free transfer?
I believe so. That's what
because
I heard.
I don't think the Chinese club can afford to pay his wages, which would be an interesting point, isn't it? Yeah.
Look, put it this way. If it's a free transfer and it is 66, then I might entertain that. Do you understand? Like, I wouldn't paying a transfer fee for someone that left the way he left. He's not going to be the same player because naturally he's older and he's playing in a substandard league. So, but we need about 6 or 7 strong recruitments to go at the Premier League and Europe next season. So, but it's just the way he left. I don't like the way he left and the fact that he thinks he can just come swanning back in. Like he's I don't know, Rio Ferdinand. Do you understand? Like he's not, like he was only what, 2 seasons, and he can walk back in like that. That's crazy.
Yeah. You imagine Arnie, that guy from Slavia Prague comes in. Oh, that'd be free, wouldn't it?
I mean, listen. With regards to Arnie, right? I put my hat in the ring a few days ago with regards to Arnautovic, and I agree with what you say. If he's gonna, we need, and I did a video on this a few months back, Gatesy, didn't we? With regards to what we'd need if we got European football next season, and I had us down as needing in between 7 and 12 players for next season in a variety of different positions. And I worked it out. If we were to get 12, I think it was 13. If we were to get all 13 players that I'd had on my list, you're talking 230 million quid. Now, we know the board ain't even going to spend, oh my Lord, what's happened to everyone? There they are. We know the board aren't even going to spend probably a quarter of that, to be fair. So we're going to need to look into, the free transfers, the loan deals, the loan with an obligation or even an option to buy. And for me, I just think Arnautovic kind of would fit us needing to fill a hole, if you will, for someone that can be a backup striker, if you will, for the European campaign. Same with Anderson coming back. We're going to get absolutely jack shit for this fella in terms of a transfer fee. And he's on huge money. So the only benefit of us actually letting him go would be to save the huge money that he's obviously on per week. Or do we keep him and we make him earn this last year of his contract for, our attempts on the Europa League? Because at the end of the day, we're gonna need what is the equivalent of near enough 2 teams for a rotational kind of thing. Because we saw what it did to Wolves that season in Europe when their players were literally hanging out of their backsides because they were so tired and their league form suffered. We see it outside of the big 6. So for me, Arnie comes back on a free transfer on what you class 60 grand. I wouldn't class it as a basic wage, but I'd chuck in huge bonuses for performances. But then that's the way I'd go with wages from now on anyway. A basic wage with huge bonuses, clean sheets for defenders and goalkeepers, assists and goals for your wingers and your strikers, man of the match performances, 10 grand if you get a man of the match here, assist bonuses, if you get an assist, there's an extra 2 grand in your pay packet as a winger, etc. Because then they're playing for their money. They're not just rocking up on a Wednesday afternoon like Wilshere does, go, sorry, boss, I think my groin's gone, and he's still taking home 120 grand a week. Because that's not fair on the rest of the players that are out there,
Yeah, and ladies and gentlemen, I just want to say on behalf of Duke, you forgot to mention that a part of that deal that me and Duke have negotiated, Sturridge is coming as well.
What?
Mate, I'd take Sturridge all day long as another striker up front. I know it sounds stupid.
He's still playing.
Me and Duke have done the deal last night. Sturridge is coming, lads.
Ooh, not
Mate,
for me.
Again, it'd be another player that I'd take on a basic wage and just give him a punt. It's another player.
You'll get about 5
It's
games out of
Liverpool
it a
West Ham
season.
signing.
Yeah, guys, though, hang on a sec. We're talking about basic wages being 60 grand a week. That is
I know,
a
it's nuts,
Sadly,
isn't it?
Steve, that's where we're at now. Sadly, that's where we're at now. That a basic wage is between 50 and 75 grand a week.
Yeah.
Well, I wouldn't mind that for a month.
Yeah.
That's
I wouldn't mind that, mate. I wouldn't mind that for a year.
Part of their contract is Sturridge will help out Saturdays with Dukes in the pub. Saturday, Sturridge will help out Dukes in the pub behind the bar. 2 days, Saturday and Sunday.
That's how we'll make the cocktails, Jazz.
Yeah,
We'll make the cocktails like that.
Tuesday nights, clear up.
Please tell me in the
Yeah.
comments you don't want
Sturridge,
an
not for me.
Allardyce, man. Please, man. Please.
Sturridge.
Well, yeah, no, I'm the
That's a
same.
West Ham signing.
No.
I mean, to be fair, I would have taken him in February, knowing that we needed a striker. I would have taken
February
him
of
in
what,
February, knowing that we needed a striker.
I thought he said 2014.
I thought he retired, man. I'm not even.
He was more worried about his dog.
He
He was more worried about his dog out in America, to be fair.
He runs
No,
hot dog van. Yeah.
Sturridge
Yeah,
is a
no.
no.
Yeah, no. I'm the
No,
same. I'm
Arnautovic, man. Like, he's coming, he's passed, he's gone. His brother is Satan. Like, I don't want that. Like, that's like that's devilish.
Peach,
That's
any good
devilish
players at
things,
Toronto
man.
Football Club? Have you
Don't want them near our
scouting
club.
for
We got
Toronto?
such a good club spirit. No,
Any
I
good
don't
Canadian
want them
players
near
down
our
there?
club,
Keep an eye
man.
out.
Let him be friends with Mark Noble. Great. Him and Mark Noble can like talk on Instagram, talk on Facebook.
Right.
Great.
Right.
But don't come near West Ham United. Marco Arnautovic, you're gone. You're a Payet.
Peach.
You're a Payet 2.0, man.
No. Peach, Canadian fact for you. David Cross and Peter Beardsley played for Vancouver Whitecaps in their life.
I never knew that.
Yeah.
I knew Peter Beardsley did.
Yeah, and David Cross went to Canada as well. He went to Canada.
Pete
At the same time.
Canada, I heard Canada. What happened about Canada?
Vancouver.
Oh,
Vancouver
no, look at
Whitecaps.
this. Yeah. Look at this. This is even worse.
Andy Carolina, but no, thank you. Stay away from our club, dog.
No.
Like Arnie and that man there. Stay away.
Oh my
Get lost.
No.
Like, come on, man.
Next we'll be
who's Luke
re-signing
Legend?
Jack Wilshere.
Yeah. Wilshere.
Jack Wheelchair. Jack Wheelchair. How you mean?
Who else?
Andy Carroll's he's a bit of a
good
good
one.
like, when he was fit, he was good though. In fairness,
Well,
I really like Andy Carroll. I wouldn't take him back now, and even by the last 2 years he was with us. But I really like him overall. I thought he was a good servant. Like, it's not his sort of fault he was injury prone, but when he did play, he always came
he didn't look after himself.
We're gonna sign Colton Palmer next, dog. Straight up. Colton Palmer, right? Come out of the pound. Back to the future thing, dog.
Giving you age away.
Can I say something? We need some unknown quantities like Suchek and
Kufal.
And
Go on.
The scouting team has got some gems, 4 or 5, let's say 3 or 4 gems that we've never heard of that can come in and have the impact like them. Then we can have maybe 3.
Go on. That's what I'm talking about.
Unknown quantities that are hungry for the Premier League. Not Nastari, not Arnautovic. We need
hungry players. David keeps
people.
saying, young hungry players. It's a great word, and
young hungry players that are fit. And you know, talking from a business point of view here, what is the value of signing a player with no resale value? Whereas you look at Thomas Souček, we brought in a player for 19 million quid. And what Barcelona were looking at him, and I think the figure we were sort of like saying at the time was about sort of like 60 million, something like that.
60 for him, 100
I'm not saying we should
Rice.
sell Thomas Souček, but if we're going to move him on, we should at least do it at a profit and not keep making a loss every time.
How much is Super worth?
Exactly. Yeah,
and he's in everyone's
team
of the season. He's in everyone's team of the season. Carragher, all those Liverpool players, they're all saying, "Wow, what a player! What an attitude!" Man of the match yesterday for me.
Oh no!
Brilliant player. You know, Duke would give him 3 chicken mushroom pie and two pints.
That one right there, Gatesy. That's the one.
Who?
Patson Daka.
I think he's meant to be going to Liverpool. or
course he is.
Well,
Leipzig.
you've
One of
got,
them.
who's the other guy, Gatesy?
I heard
we
that.
spoke
I heard
about?
that, Kaz. I heard the same thing. Yeah.
I hate those
Yep.
two words
It's
in my life,
Liverpool
Liverpool and
and
Tottenham. I
Leipzig
just
are looking
get
at him
so
as well
upset when
because
someone
he's
mentions
Hey,
with
yo,
it.
Salzburg, isn't he?
Hey, Kaza, what do you think about signing Oxlade-Chamberlain? Like me and Titch were talking about this the
Nah,
other
Get
nah,
day.
away.
nah.
I think
Get
Oxlade
away.
Chamberlain would be dope,
Get
dog.
I
away.
think that's a good
Yeah,
idea.
Malzy.
man. I think it'll be live, dog. Straight up,
Another
man.
Nah.
What have you been smoking, son?
Come over.
Shucks. I think Oxlade Chamberlain would be dope, dog. How you mean, man? Straight
Make
up,
it rain.
Hollis,
Make
man.
it rain.
What about Silas One-Handed Tuka?
Tuka.
Ew.
Well,
I
yeah,
really like it.
him and
He's
him
injured
and
though.
Posh
Cruciate at the
Spice,
minute.
and then
He got a
like Ginger
cruciate.
Spice, and then like Baby Spice.
Hello.
Like, trust me, all of them.
Maybe
Get them all in, dog.
maybe talking
Hello.
more.
I've got something for a little one. Give me 1 minute.
Is it a rum?
Hang on. Yay!
Mel B, get Mel B in.
Can you do that?
Can you do that? Can you do that?
What?
Go on. Give us a crash, Hammers.
Boom.
Come on. We're going to do it together. Ready?
Oh, bless her.
Here we go.
Hey.
Yes, Andy, 100
Keep
miles
him
and
young.
running. My G, man. Yes, big that up, dog. How you mean, man? Go on.
Love it. Start him young.
Yo,
So, yeah,
but
I
that's West Ham,
I
dog.
would
We're
say
family
Oxlade
things,
Chamberlain.
dog. How you mean?
Thoughts on Oxlade-Chamberlain?
No.
Yes, please.
Again, I think
Yes,
he's another
please. Yes,
injury-prone
please.
player.
Yes, please. Yes, please.
I think he's
I
another
like him.
injury-prone player. I think. Don't get me
Yo,
wrong.
but like all y'all be
he's a
saying
good
the same
player.
thing about Lingard. All y'all
he's
be
also
saying the
never
same
really
thing
proved-
about blood clot
He's never really
Lingard when
proven
you're
himself,
around, dog. Straight up,
No.
all y'all be saying the same thing about
Oxlade-Chamberlain's
Lingard. Oh, Lingard,
shown
yeah,
glimpses of talent, but he's
Manchester
never been
United
a
reject.
consistent
Yo,
good player.
Oxlade Chamberlain will put two things down, dog. His father did, and he will, man. How you mean?
Yeah, but
That's class,
Peach,
guys.
he's been injured an awful lot over the last
Go on,
2-3
go on.
years. That's the concern.
So
He'll come back
that's
from an
typical
injury.
West
He
Ham.
looks
Then he'll
good.
fit right in. He'll fit right in,
Oh
dog.
no, we're
He'll fit
past
right
that,
in.
Peach. We can't keep going down that route. We can't.
Don't hurry
You
up.
know. I mean, you say about Lingard. Lingard never had a questionable injury
I
record,
love
though,
you,
did he?
JC. I love you, JC.
Can I
So-
ask you guys what you think of Lingard's recent performances and how much you think we should pay for him if it's an option?
15 million. 15 million.
It's going to be 25,
Well-
I think. You know, United. It's going to
Yeah, I
be
wouldn't be
25.
going any more than that. I think
It's gonna
I'd
be
probably be
25.
saying
Oh,
if you
no,
factor
no.
in the last
15 million all day
I
long,
think
dog.
max amount of 20. Don't just
Yeah,
reduce
max,
it anymore.
max.
Because
Yes,
if you can get someone like Pereira for 20 or 25,
Yeah, I want.
Oh, good point, good
especially long
point.
term,
Oh, Pereira was so
long-term
tidy,
investment
man.
as well.
How old's Pereira?
Yo,
25.
Kyle, yeah, Kyle, like Pereira looked so tidy, Kyle. Like, yo,
He's been
man,
like that all season.
homeboy was on point.
He's been like that. It's
where
not.
did they
That's
get-
not just
Yeah, man.
against us.
Where did they
No,
get
no,
him
no,
from,
done no.
Pereira? Let me do some
Portugal.
research on it.
Portugal, I think. I think it might be
So
Portugal.
many
Homeboy's
great players
ill,
from
man.
Portugal.
He's ill
Yeah,
like
not-
a fever and a flu and like the COVID-19 all put together, dog. And he ain't got the vaccine.
He's
Like,
Brazilian.
homeboy is ill. Like, ill.
Think
Straight
He's
up.
Brazilian,
the
you're
thing
right.
for me with
He's Brazilian,
Lingard,
you're
I
right.
think
Just.
the truth is with Lingard, I think the player that we saw in the first 8 or 9 games was someone that
Yeah.
looked like
25.
Messi, if we're being
Wow,
honest about
5'9".
it. And yet the player that we've seen in the last sort of 5 games has been anything but. I think the truth is
like
that the real
lazy.
Jesse Lingard is
Casey.
somewhere in between.
He's from that
It's
great
almost like a
academy
Freddie
in
Canute.
Lisbon again. Wow.
I would say 20 million, personally. I would say
I tell you
20
what, the
million
number
there or
of players
thereabouts.
that come
16,
from Sporting Lisbon is incredible, Marzi. It's what an academy that is. And I used to work with a tax director that was even now a season ticket holder. Congratulations to them. Won the league after 15, 20 years, I think.
Go
They had
on,
players
Jazz.
like Slimani, Ronaldo,
Go
all the
on,
Carvalho people, Bruno. It just goes on and on. The player, William Carvalho that we wanted, and this guy from there as well. It's a great Their model is go all around the world, buy them for 50 grand, and then you put in that
Yeah.
clause 50 million,
Yeah.
and hopefully one of us will come along and pay it. Yeah.
God.
Well,
Fair enough.
sorry, gents. I've
Right,
got to go. I need to be up early tomorrow. I'm shattered.
I'm gonna
One more.
Right, I'm gonna wrap it up, ladies and gentlemen. And for those of you that know how
Love
this
ya.
is going to
Love
go,
ya.
you know what's coming next.
See you tomorrow. See you tomorrow.
Cheers, Milesy.
Later.
Stay safe, bud.
Sweet dreams.
Guys, those of you that are watching, I'll tell you what I'm going to do. I'm going to be a little bit cheeky, but whatever, because I've got to get this message across. So, ladies and gentlemen, we're coming to the end of the stream, and this is my usual shout out to this young lady, Isla Caton, who is a 6-year-old girl battling for her life against neuroblastoma. This is a really rare and aggressive cancer for which there ain't no treatment for this on the NHS. So, in the middle of a global pandemic, her family have got to take this little girl wherever it is in the world to get the treatment that's hopefully going to save her life. And all this treatment is experimental. So it's like cross your fingers and hope for the best. Now, they got to pay for flights. They got to pay for the treatment. They've got to pay for the accommodation while they're there. Their living costs. The bills are still coming in the UK. This is something that is really expensive, guys, really stressful. They're watching their daughter fight for her life. They're in the middle of a global pandemic. They're having to find the money for all of this. We at Falls from Iron and the wider West Ham YouTube community are behind this campaign as one. On the banner there, and it's in the description below the stream on YouTube and on Facebook and all the rest of it, you can find this PayPal and Just Giving page link where you can put a couple of quid in the pot for this family. There ain't no donation that's too small. Anything from £1 upwards. Thank you very much indeed. But the more the merrier, of course. And whatever you do, if you could take this message, copy it, paste it onto your social media platforms, your WhatsApp, your Twitter, your Facebook, all of that. Send it out there. Get the momentum behind this campaign, ladies and gentlemen, because the truth of the matter is this little girl is struggling. And with every day that goes past, the outlook gets ever more bleak for this little girl. So, guys, let's try and come together. Let's try and do some good as a fan base and as just general good human beings. Thanks very much indeed for listening. So, guys, that is where I am going to wrap it up. I'd like to thank each and every one of you on the stream at the moment and everybody that's contributed along the way, everybody of you in the chat. Thank you very much indeed for your participation. And I'm going to hit end broadcast, but there's only one thing left to say. He's not here, Duke. So are you gonna play Milesy?
We are fucking massive.
Come on, you Irons.
And for the rest of us, we're going to go with, quite simply, come on, you Irons.
We're massive. Yeah, we're massive, dog.